This is the Scenario Radio Show. Real talk with a playlist.
You're back with the Scenario Radio Show. And on today's show, you can check us out online at thescenarioradioshow.com. Online, you can check us out at all of our social media platforms. So you can hear today's playlist, the 2021 Summer Preview on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can slide in our DMs on Twitter, and you can see the cast and the show live on Instagram. Like, follow, and subscribe all of our social media platforms. Now back to you, Van.
All right. I just want to be clear. You can't slide in my DMs. Ain't gonna be no DM sliding over here. Keep that over with everybody else. I'm not having it. But that's another thing. I want to get back into our discussion that we got with the guys from Established 1982 podcast, Wally Analog and Rolls Royce Elite. Okay, one of the things you guys are talking about, a lot of the streaming platforms. Here's something I noticed. Disney Plus, that all of their series so far the budget has been a movie budget for all these series. Invincible on Amazon Prime, they hired, top tier actors to do the voices for those. HBO had a 4-hour movie, and they spent, a lot of money to, add on to that extra stuff for the Justice League. So with all of this money that's being invested into streaming, do you think that's going to change the way we look at TV? Is TV going to still be the same here going forward once things open back up? Or are they going to say, okay, well, we spent that money then, but now that we got you, we're going to go and pull back and kind of cut this stuff with a little more baking soda?
Yeah. Well, I think ultimately TV is going in that same trend. I mean, Netflix and Hulu and and Disney Plus, all the streaming services are investing in all the content and making it better. So I think COVID just created a environment where they're just going to keep doing more of the same. So I don't think it's going to change. I just think it's going to be status quo plus more.
I'd be interested to see how that works if they can afford it. That's going to be the thing. Like, who's paying for it? That's always my question. At the end of the day, who's going to pay for it? You going to
that's who pay for it. The subscribers pay for it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like that's essentially the thing.
Yeah, I wonder how it affects network TV though. You know what I mean? Because network, that's commercials. Like they can't come up with them kind of budgets on NBC. For some of them shows, it's like, what are they going to do? It'll be interesting to see how all of it plays out. Who knows? Network
TV is investing in the streaming service. So you got like NBC and Peacock. Yes. You have CBS. All the ABC shows are on Hulu. And then CBS is in the Viacom family. So it's on Paramount Plus. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. Makes sense. Sense.
So what is something that's coming out that you wish you could go to the movies and see? Because I know when the Bad Boys trilogy was coming out, I had to see that on the big screen because it was a huge screen. And even though you're in your home, your screen is only so large. So what's a movie that you wish you could go see because of the accommodations in the movie theaters?
Yeah.
I think this year, I wouldn't say there's anything yet for me personally this year, but there are some things that I do want to see that I would not want to watch at home, even coming from somebody that doesn't care one way or another about the theater, right? So I think I would want to see the Batman on the big screen. That's the one I want to see the most.
And why?
Because I'm a huge Batman fan. And they've not done, for the most part, there have not been any bad, well, I won't say any bad. I don't acknowledge Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. So we won't talk about those. But when they actually get people who respect the source material to do a Batman movie, it's typically very good, very well done. So that's what I want to see the most on the screen.
What about you?
For me, I want to see the Eternals. One, because it's going to be on my birthday, and then two, I think it's going to be a large scale a large scale movie and an event. So like I want to see all the effects. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it in IMAX. So that's the movie that would be excited to see in the theaters. And then also too, now that the restrictions have been loosened, I just want to give it, some more time, like 6 more months of time before I'm comfortable going into the movie theater. So yeah, that's my pick, the Eternals, and that's coming November 5th of this year.
All right, so you might be able to check that one out in a matinee when it's not like
In the
the
morning.
first day coming out. You might be able to check that one out. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay, so now we're going to take you guys to the crossroads, put you through the ringer right quick with the choice is yours. All right, you know how we do it this time. We like to take our guests to the crossroads. With the choices yours, we give them a set of choices, and they got to make the decision, and they can only pick one.
It's all the Charles there.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how it is. There's only one, and we're going to start like we always do on the other side of the glass with our engineer / producer, Dana Dane. Dana Dane, give them their choices.
All right, so I was on social media a couple months ago, and I was seeing people debate between who was the better actor. And I want you guys to tell me which one that you guys think. Okay, here we go. So the choices are Will Smith or Jamie Foxx. Which is the
Just
better-
acting.
Just acting. Because they did music. Let's take the music out.
Man.
Just acting. Wally, we'll start with you because you look like you got something to say.
Man, that boy played Ray, man. Jamie Foxx, he played Ray. And I understand that Will Smith did Ali, but I forgot that was Jamie Foxx when I was watching Ray. I have to lean Jamie. I have to go Jamie. It's a hard choice, but I can only pick one. So,
You right. All right, what you got,
Jamie.
Royce?
I have to agree with Wally for the first time. So we never agree on the podcast.
Mark it down.
But yeah, Ray was just transformative. I mean, like Jamie was able to take you somewhere with that, and you didn't recognize that was silly Jamie Foxx. So he has an edge on that because of Ray's performance.
I agree. I would say Jamie Foxx as well because someone made the point. They was like, Jamie Foxx could play Will Smith. Will Smith couldn't play Jamie Foxx. I was like, you're absolutely right.
Ooh.
Because he is an impersonator. Yeah, it's true.
He
I didn't
is.
think about that.
But Will can cry on sight. He can just cry, Will, and he can cry. I don't know.
It is true. Jamie didn't have to cry in Ray, so he just, his eyes was
Will
closed.
can make his jaw quiver.
Yeah.
Everything. So anyway.
Yeah, that episode he was in where Ben Vereen walked out on him. Yeah, that got me.
Whew.
Yeah. That's a tough call. I'm gonna go be a contrarian. I'm gonna go with Will Smith, and here's why: because Jamie is a good impersonator, and it's one thing when you can impersonate an artist after you've seen them for a moment. It's another thing if you can just play a role and you have to pull from within to find what the character is because you don't have anybody to base it on. Sure. And as of yet, I haven't seen him do anything that wasn't an impersonation that I was like, okay, that's good acting.
That's fair.
So I got
That's a real good answer. Yeah.
I ain't gonna rebuttal that, but I did have a follow up. But it's okay.
Well, we gotta get somebody else's question right now. Let's go with KB. What do you got, KB?
So you said you were a Batman fan, so I'll go with Batman, Wally, and then you can think about it for yourself as well, Ryan. But if you had the choice, would you take your favorite movie and would you rather see it remade or would you rather see a sequel to it?
My favorite movie?
Take your favorite movie and then would you rather see somebody else's take in a remake or would you rather see it continue in the storyline in a sequel?
I'm not too big a fan of remakes. I I think I probably would rather see a sequel to it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I'd be afraid of them destroying the classic. Because that's
Fair
the
enough.
old dude that I am. The get off my lawn, don't mess with the classics kind of dude. So, yeah.
What about you, Ryan?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say, maybe doing a sequel to it, because I think, what made that movie my favorite movie would be, like the energy that was around during that time. And I don't know if you can recreate that 20 years later or 30 years later. So I would
What
say
movie
just
was that?
continue
I'm
story.
curious.
What movie was that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got so many favorites. But the one I really love action movies, and there's this action movie by John Woo called Hard Boiled. You should look it up. Probably won't find it anywhere, but it's on Blu-ray. But it's called Hard Boiled, and it's just an inventive action movie. So, and especially if the American companies tried to remake it, I don't know if that would
Endless
be
budget, though. Endless budget.
Yeah,
Budgets
but
don't
there's
fix
some
budgets don't fix a lot of stuff. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised with how people can mess stuff up with money.
right.
Yeah. So
Right.
okay, all right, that's a good one. My answer is that I don't want to see a sequel to Malcolm X, which is probably my favorite movie. They pretty much ended it where they had to. So, and I'm not sure if I want a remake either. But if I got to go with the two, it's got to be a remake. So yeah, sure, remake. All right.
I just like seeing people's versions and what their vision is with the movie. So I'd like to see a remake just to see what they can come up with. So that was just what I was wondering.
What's your favorite movie?
I got a lot. Like
That's tough.
once you put it that way, like the first thing that popped in my head was the Fridays, and I enjoyed the sequels to Friday. I do not want to see that remade, so I just completely contradicted myself. Sorry.
You did.
Yeah. All right.
All right, this is the last one. And I'm going with a three-piece one here because and this is from somebody who believes in a budget. Now, because this streaming thing is getting out of hand. So if you got to only choose one of the three, which one you going with? Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, or HBO Max? If you like, okay, I'm tired of spending, I got to pare this thing down. You can only go with one. Which one's it going to be? Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, or HBO Max?
Come on, man.
Amazon Prime, because you get groceries and all other goods and services. I don't want to miss out on that other stuff. That's just, Yeah, I cancel Netflix. I lose my Prime membership for my deliveries and all of that. No. Let me get that Amazon.
Say you gotta get your sitcoms and your neck bones.
I don't like neck bones, but you know what I'm saying.
What about you? What about you, Rose?
Put me in that neck bone box.
That's a tough one because Wally has a point with Amazon Prime, but if you separated the TV from Amazon Prime, I would say I would go with Disney Plus because I'm just such a fan of the Marvel Studio, the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then everything they're doing on Disney Plus. It's just they're just hitting on and Star Wars and whatever other series they got, Indiana Jones, all that stuff. So and they're pretty much just buying up all the properties anyway. So I'll go with Disney Plus on that one.
Yeah, and let's be honest. It's only a matter of time before they corner the neck bone market too. At the rate they're going.
Mickey Mouse and neck bones.
Yeah, Mickey with a plate of neck bones.
This is the Scenario Radio Show. Real talk with a playlist.
That's the scenario.